been far too long, but finally the GP4OC News is back after major technical issues involving my Mac, and straight away you may have noticed that things look slightly different from when we last had a news video. Well, as a result of my whole hard drive dying on me to the point where certain files couldn't get retrieved, it meant that despite several attempts on my end, certain softwares that I used in the past to edit videos and to edit graphics I cannot get back either, which in turn means the highlights are sadly not going to be able to continue due to me using alternate software that isn't as advanced as Premiere Pro. But enough about that. As promised to you guys on Discord, we are here to do a catch up of all the silly season news that I have missed. So without further ado, let's have a look at them. Let's start off with week 2, where we saw the announcement that Ferrari were retaining their lineup of Chris Chatfield and Jake Galloway, and that Evan Byrne would indeed return to Red Bull in 2022 for the first time since 2006 as a result of a frustrating few years with Renault. Neither of these announcements came as much of a surprise, given that both Chris and Jake were performing well at Ferrari this season, and the fact that it had been widely rumoured that Evan was on his way to Red Bull, with him since then having used a Red Bull branded helmet to celebrate the announcement. Ferrari will be hoping to build on what has been a much improved 2021 and hope to be fighting for the title, whilst Evan will be hoping to win his first world title in 2022, now he will be with a team that is currently winning both championships. It will be interesting to see whether or not George Rote will be retained by the team in 2022, with him battling with Jesus Perinen should he miss out on his number one choice, which is Renault. Moving on to week 3, and it was confirmed that McLaren will retain now Italian driver Kirishima De Rosa for another season after another great showing from him this season. Despite more bad luck creeping up on Kiro this season, his race pace has still been satisfactory enough for McLaren to keep hold of him for 2022, especially given that McLaren are going through a transitional period in 2022 due to them forming a partnership with German manufacturer BMW. McLaren will be hoping to move further up the grid to the point where they are back to regularly fighting for wins and fighting for the championship. In terms of who could his teammate be for 2022, Joseph Willows is more likely to be retained. However, if his performances start to drop, then Agatina Bavona or Brandon Jackson could be there to pick up the pieces. Next we move on to week 4, and it was announced that German driver Felix Sonntag would remain with Williams for 2022 in what would be seen as a transitional period for Williams, as they will be switching from Mercedes engines to Lamborghini engines. Felix has so far had another great season with Williams, and him signing with the team for another season shows his loyalty to the team and shows that he still has faith in turning the team around. He'll be hoping Williams will have a much improved season in 2022 and hopes the switch to Lamborghini engines will be successful. Jamie Griffiths will be hoping to get retained as well, however he may need to watch his shoulders if he starts to have poor performances, as Mohammed Usman Hamid and current Williams test driver Adam Chobot could be there to nab the seat. Finally, we move on to week 5, and after so much speculation, it was confirmed that two-time pole sitter Rahul Patel would remain with Lamborghini for 2022. Throughout the last month or so, there was a question as to whether Rahul would be retained at Lamborghini or battle with George Rote for the second Red Bull seat, given that Julius Anderson put Lamborghini as his second choice with Renault as his first choice, as given the pick order, it is looking like Julius Anderson will leave Aston Martin at the end of the season. However, after some brilliant performances Rahul has put in the last few races, it did enough to satisfy the Italian team to give him an extension for 2022, meaning Lamborghini will retain their 2021 lineup into 2022. Rahul and Laura will be hoping to continue their impressive 2021 into 2022, and will hope that Lamborghini can build on their impressive rookie season and go further up the grid in 2022. As for Julius Anderson, he will be hoping to get one of the Renault seats for 2022, otherwise he could be out of a drive once again, but we will have to wait and see. So with that out of the way, this is what the lineup for 2022 currently looks like. There are 12 seats still yet to be decided, which are the 2 seats at Alfa Romeo, the remaining seat at AlphaTauri, the 2 seats at Aston Martin, the 2 seats at Haas, the remaining seat at McLaren, the remaining seat at Red Bull, the 2 seats at Renault, and the remaining seat at Williams. Who do you believe will get the remaining seats? Leave your predictions in the comment section below. And that is the catch-up episode for the GP4OC News Series 9. The next news episode will be back to normal and will happen at the United States Grand Prix next week. Who will be announced next? Tune in to practice on Tuesday at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas.